Hi friends, welcome to the vlog. So this is Sarah from the future. I'm actually recording this on Friday morning, but I wanted to throw this in here as a brief explanation on why you're watching this vlog on a Saturday and not on a Sunday. So I realized last night, actually I was scrolling through Instagram, and I noticed that this weekend, starting tonight at 8 p.m., is the Dewey's Reverse Read-Along, Readathon, something like that. I have never participated in Dewey's. It's a 24-hour read-along or readathon, and it's just essentially to read for 24 hours. And this is reverse because I think typically it goes from 8 in the morning until 8 the next morning, so 24 hours. This one's reverse, so it goes from 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. the next day. So I guess for people overseas or in other countries or across the world, it changes the time for them. And again, I've never participated in Dewey's, and I kind of sort of want to. So the other thing that's happening, if you've been watching, or I don't know, I think I mentioned it in my last vlog, but this weekend, tonight, starting at 8 o'clock, is also the BookTube Besties Retreat, which I am participating in. So that runs from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard tomorrow. So what I'm doing here is I am going to put this vlog up on Saturday. I'm going to end it tonight, and then I'll be starting a new one tonight, and I'm going to go for the 24 hours and post that on Sunday. So anyway, that's it, guys. I just wanted to announce that. Onto the vlog. Hi, BookTube. My name is Sarah, and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today, I'm coming to you with the start of another weekly reading vlog. This is for week number 30, and today is actually Monday. It is the 17th of July. Happy July, or happy Monday, everybody, I should say. Excuse me. Sorry I did not get a clip out yesterday. My weekend, the last video that you saw, the last clip from last week's video, last week's vlog, was on Saturday afternoon. And then, so we were out, Garrett and I were out pretty much all day Saturday. And then Sunday, I literally yesterday had a completely lazy day. I didn't do much of anything. So I didn't film any videos yesterday, or nothing. So literally this morning, I've spent the last hour filming the 4 videos that you guys will have already seen, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays videos. I just finished filming. I'm going to go and do some editing. But now that they're filmed, I'm happy because they're done. And, you know, not that I ever worry about my videos or anything like that. This is strictly a hobby, but it's kind of nice that I knew I wanted to do these videos, that I now have them done. So, because this week's going to be a little bit odd or different for me. So today, I am logging into work at 11, which is my normal start time, and I'm going to be working for an hour till noon, and then at noon I have to leave, and I'm going down to the hospital. I just have to go and have a monitor put on, one of the cardiac monitors. I have to wear that for 48 hours. So I'm going to go get that put on. I gotta go all the way downtown for this, you guys. And so I've got 3 hours off the set, like from noon till 3, and I'm supposed to be back on my desk at 3. And then, so then I'll work from 3 till 7, which is fine. And then tomorrow it's a normal day for me, but I'll be wearing the fun monitor. And then on Wednesday, I go to work in the morning, and then I'm leaving, I think, at 2 o'clock, maybe? I think it's at 2. I leave work at 2, a couple hours earlier than I normally would, and I am driving back downtown to the hospital to A, drop back off the monitor that I've been wearing, and B, having an ultrasound on my abdomen. Fun times. So I'm glad that they kind of worked it out, that I was dropping it off and getting something else done at the same time, so it wasn't a complete waste of my trip. So yeah, so like I said, a bit of a weird week this week, and that's why I kind of wanted to get all these videos filmed. Like, I could have filmed some videos at night, but because I'm going to be in the monitor, and because I can't shower once the monitor goes on, so I showered this morning, and now I won't be able to shower again until Wednesday night, which just bothers me, but that's fine. I will be counting the minutes down. I didn't want to, you know, like, anyway, it was a thing. I just wanted to get them done, and I'm happy that they're done, and I'm happy to be sitting down talking to you guys now. So, I already finished a book, you guys. I finished a book yesterday, so that's very exciting. So yesterday I finished Secrets Can Kill by Carolyn Keene, book number 1 in the Nancy Drew Files series. I gave this book 4.5 stars. I love this series so much. This, again, is an iconic cover to me. I've mentioned this before. So in this book, Nancy goes back to high school. She is a year out of high school. She's 18. And she goes back to high school to investigate some vandalism and theft of property. And then somebody ends up dead. So yeah, it's not a terribly long book. I'm not going to give you guys a complete plot summary to this one. But it was fun. These are really fun. These are fun throwback books for me. I really, really love them. If you get a chance to read them, I would. These are all available digitally, which is fantastic. On Scribd, I know for sure. And I know my library has a handful of them, you know, digitally. But yeah, these are just super fun. If you were a kid in the 80s, you know, you probably read these ones. And this was very much 1980s. They had references in this, of course, to VCRs, the AV club, the audiovisual club, and the USSR. Because, of course, a mystery involving high school students had to bring in Russian spies at some point. So that was a thing. But anyway, really, really fun. Really enjoyed it. So that was my first book finished this week, which is very exciting. We're off to a good start, my friends. We're off to a good start. So what I'm currently listening to on audio, reading/listening to on audio, is Role Playing by Cathy Yardley. I have this here on my Kindle, but I do have the audiobook, which I'm going to be listening to on my way to and from the hospital today. And I'm really enjoying this book. I don't want to talk too much about it because I will finish it this week. And I don't want to keep rehashing the plot every time I do a clip. So stay tuned for when I finish this book later this week. But I am very much enjoying it. And I am also reading for part of my Harlequin project, Her Amish Protectors by Janice K. Johnson. Hoping to get this one done as well this week. I am a good chunk of the way through this one. But, I mean, this is large print, you guys. So this is reading really quickly, which is great. And I am enjoying this one as well. And last but not least, when I finished the Nancy Drew last night, I did pick up Diary of a War Bride by Laurie Robinson, which I got one chapter in through yesterday, and I forgot how much I love this book. This is a reread for me. The first time I read it, I gave it 5 stars. I'm interested to see what I'm going to do the second go around. Sorry, it's really shiny with my ring light. But yeah, this one is so great. It's the Land Girl and the U.S. Officer, July 1942. So I'm kind of reading this one for book 2 about war, for the book on war, essentially. So yeah, so I'm enjoying this one as well. It's got a great opening scene where, so she's living in the country in the UK, in outside of London, and there is a U.S. Army base that has gone up. And a lot of the residents are like, some of them are really happy they're there. Some of them are not so happy they're there because they feel like that they're going to kind of make the Germans come, like, because they've got a base there, the Germans are going to kind of look for that base and bomb this town. So in the opening scene, our main character, Catherine, is riding her bike to drop off some milk and eggs and stuff from the farm that she lives at to this local store. And there's a hotshot American pilot who, like, swoops right down and, like, she freaks her out and she falls off the bike and the eggs get broken and the milk gets spilled and she's very angry. So one of the other guys who was there in the Jeep, his name is Dale. He is going to be our male lead. He's like, I'm really sorry. He thought it was kind of funny. She did not. So yeah, it's kind of an enemies to lovers at the very beginning, but each chapter starts with a diary entry, which is a lot of fun. So yeah, loving this one very much. Anyway, guys, that's it. I have been chatting now for the past hour. I'm going to go edit some video, relax for a bit before I start work, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Hi friends, happy Tuesday. Today is the 18th of July. And as you can tell, I am wired up. I have my Holter monitor on. I had this put on yesterday afternoon. I get to take it off tomorrow afternoon. I cannot wait. I don't mind, like, when I'm just sitting or whatever, I barely notice it. But it's when I get up and move around, it is a pain because you gotta, like, do a little thing with you. You know, I've had it in my back pocket. They give you a little thing, like, this, like, made out of the material of, like, no, not even that, like, a higher class paper. I want to say, like, it's a very cheap material. It's meant to be thrown out and not reused person to person. And it's a little pocket you can put it in, and it's got these long strings on it, and they're all, like, tied around my neck. And I'm like, no. So, like, I put it around my waist or whatever, but then when I went to work today, I just slid this into the back pocket of my pants. And this, I didn't try to hide anything. It is what it is. Like, I'm sitting up here in my jammies now, but, you know, I just don't bother because it's just too much effort. You can't conceal this. No matter how, I used to be that person, like, gotta make sure it's concealed. Don't want anybody to know that I'm wearing it. But now it's like, I just don't care. You know what I mean? So anyway, I get to go back tomorrow and drop it off. So I head off to the hospital and when I get to the parking lot at the hospital is when I'm going to pop the whole thing off, put it back in its little case thingy, and drop it off on the way to my ultrasound tomorrow afternoon. So that's pretty much all that's been going on. It's about 8:30 at night here now. I finished work at 7. I had my dinner, which was yummy. My husband made dinner. In case anyone's curious, we had the dinner of a 5-year-old, and we had fish sticks and tater tots, which made me all kinds of happy. Excuse me, water. And now I'm sitting down to talk to you guys. So, reading update. I finished another book today. Yay! I finished reading Role Playing by Cathy Yardley. I gave this book 5 stars, you guys. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I listened to the bulk of it on audio. I cannot remember the female narrator's name, but the male narrator was Chris Brinkley, and he does all the Winston Brothers books, and he is an absolute favorite of mine in terms of a male narrator. I love his stuff so much. So this story was really cute. It's about 2 people, Maggie and Aiden, and they are older. That's what the one thing that really drew me into this story is that she's 48 and he's 50. And the 2 of them meet virtually in this online game, and then they end up meeting in person and eventually building a relationship. But this is a very slow burn romance, you guys, a very slow burn romance. It's like the 75% mark before something actually happens. Like, they're starting to develop feelings for each other, but nothing actually accumulates until like about the 75-80% mark. And the love scenes, there are a couple of them, are very tastefully done. I like them. I would say that this one's a little bit spicier, but not overtly graphic or anything like that. And if it's something that you weren't comfortable with, you could very easily just flip to the next chapter, and there would be no harm, no foul. You did not miss anything. So yeah, this one was really, really cute. If you are a gamer, if you are someone who loves that kind of thing, you'll like this book. The other thing I really appreciated with the fact that both characters were older, especially for Aiden, is that he was dealing a lot with his family, especially his mother. The older you get, of course, the older your parents get, and, dealing with an elderly parent who doesn't want to deal with what needs to be dealt with could be very difficult, I can imagine. And that's what he's dealing with his mother. And I really appreciate that. I just felt it, for somebody like me in her 40s, I just felt like that was something that I could not necessarily relate to, but one day will, it's a lot closer than we think. It's something that we don't want to think about, right? But you know what I mean? So, it was nice not having the problems of a 20-year-old. It was kind of nice having the problems of a 50-year-old to kind of, read about. Does that make sense, or does that sound weird? Anyway, guys, I really, really enjoyed this story. It was a fun, typical contemporary romance. Like, there was nothing really that was like outstanding about it. It was just so enjoyable, and I just thought it was so clever. With this whole gaming concept, and the very beginning of the book, like, what was really hilarious is that he thinks for some reason, well, there's reasons, I'm not going to get into those reasons, but he thinks that she is like in her 80s, and he thinks that she's like a college age kid. So when they eventually do meet, it's hilarious. So I am also not the kind of person who annotates books. That's just not me. Especially because I listen to audio too, it makes it more difficult. But there's been occasions that I will run across a great line or something that's said in a book. I'm like, oh, I really like that. And, like if I'm reading an ebook, I'll highlight it. Typically, if I hear it in an audiobook, I'm just like, okay. And then I, end up forgetting about the line. But in this one, just as I was getting to the office, there was a scene and there was a line that Maggie says. And I just went, oh my gosh. So when I parked the car, I backtracked it, found it, and I typed it out on my notes app on my phone because I really liked it and I wanted to share it with you guys. Just to give you an idea of Maggie's personality. So in the scene, they are at a gathering, and typically Maggie is like sweatpants, ratty old jeans, oversized sweaters that don't show her shape. Her hair's in a little bit of a mess. She loves wearing her Ugg boots, no makeup. So she's very much a casual person. And I love the fact that Aiden fell for her as this casual girl, right? So she shows up at this event, and she is dressed to the nines. She's got her makeup on, she's got her hair done, little black dress, heels, and she looks spectacular. And Aiden's friend Riley is like trying to hit on her, and then he's like, oh wait, you're Maggie? Like, you're the girl that the last time I saw was in a frumpy sweatshirt and, track pants, kind of an idea. So he kind of makes this comment to her. He's like, if you can look like this, why don't you dress like this every day? And the line I loved so much. If you can't handle me in track pants, or no, if you can't handle me in sweatpants, you don't deserve me in stilettos. And I'm like, yes. And it's so true. And I mean, I know a lot of women, it's said all the time, when we dress up or wear makeup, most of the time we're doing it for ourselves. You know, like, I don't wear makeup, clearly I'm married, but I never did wear makeup to be like, you know, oh, blah, 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 like extra attractive. I wear makeup because I enjoy it. You know, I'll wear certain outfits or dresses or dress up or whatever because I enjoy it. I never wore it. Like, it's nice to feel like, you know, your husband or your significant other appreciates, you know, when you, it's the same with Garrett. If Garrett puts on like, you know, jeans because he wears track pants 90% of the time. But if we're going somewhere, the occasional time we've gone to a work Christmas party and he's like in dress pants and a tie, it's just nice to see like, oh yeah, I remember when you look like that. But, you know, that's not his everyday, and that's okay, right? But I just love that line and I wanted to share it with you guys. So anyway, that's what I finished today. So that's great. 2 books in the last couple days, my friends. Well, no, I finished a book Sunday and then I finished the book today. So we shall see what else I can finish this week. But, oops, I'm going to spill the water all over my bed and that would end badly. I'm still working on her Amish Protectors by Janice K. Johnson. I am almost halfway through it now. I've decided to just go with 1 print book and 1 audiobook at a time to try and get through these a little bit faster. Not faster like I'm trying to speed through them, but, you know, if you're reading more than 1 book at a time, it might seem like, you know, you don't finish anything and then all of a sudden you finish like all the things. And I'd like to concentrate, spend some time more on just 1 book at a time kind of an idea. So yeah, so I'm reading that one right now. And then I did borrow this book from the library, but I also have it on audiobook. So I'll be listening to this primarily on audiobook, but I think I'm going to read the first chapter tonight as an ebook. And that is The Girl You Left Behind by Jojo Moyes. So I've got this on my Kobo. Is this the Sage, the Kobo Sage. And I love this device. It's fantastic. It's nice. As you can see, it's the size of my head. It's nice and big. And I really like it. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to try and get through the first chapter or 2 tonight and then get a lot more of this read. And I also plan on doing a bit of knitting. I was going to do some cross stitch tonight, but my back has kind of been bugging me. And with this whole mess going on, it's just with the wires, and I just can't be bothered. So I'm going to do a little bit of knitting because it's a little bit easier. It's kind of mindless, and that's kind of what I want tonight. So I never showed you guys my crafting last week at the end of the vlog, so I do apologize. I didn't get any cross stitch done, but I did get some knitting done last week. So when I showed you a week or so ago, I was here on my sock, and I have another inch to do on the sock, and then I can put the heel in, and then I can start the foot and get this done. So I'd like to get the heel done this week, which would be fantastic. I think I mentioned before, these are my Christmas socks from 2021. I've got the first sock finished, but I have to finish the second sock, and because it's July, it's Christmas in July, my goal is to kind of get this one done before the end of the month. So I still have some time, but so I kind of want to concentrate on working on it so I can get this finished. But anyway, guys, that's my plans for tonight. Little reading, little cross stitch, knitting, and watching some booktube, and that's pretty much it. So guys, thank you very much, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Hi, friends. It's about an hour later, and I just wanted to give you another quick reading update. So I read a chapter of The Girl You Left Behind by Jojo Moyes, and it's not a book I'm in the mood for right now. The first chapter was already really, really dark. Not heavy. It was very heavy. I mean, it is a World War I novel, and a lot of you commented when I mentioned that I was going to read it that her stories are very, very emotional and things like that. I just don't think it's something that I was in the mood for right now, so I decided to put it down, especially after reading Role Playing, which was so light and so fun, that a book that dark, I just really wasn't in the mood for. So instead I'm going to pick up a fun little cozy mystery, Murder at the Beacon Bake Shop by Darcy Hannah. So I own this one on the Kindle, but it was a free read on Audible if you have the Audible Plus package, which I do because I have a subscription to Audible, so I'm able to listen to this one for free, which is great. So yeah, anyway, just a very, very short little clip, you guys. Thought I'd tell you, this is, I have actually put down several books this month. I think Oh, another one I didn't even start. The Swiss Nurse I didn't even start. I decided not to read Meet Me at the Lake, and now this one. So good for me, because life's too short for books we're not in the mood for. So anyway, guys, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Hi, friends. Happy Wednesday. Today is the 19th of July, and it is just before 8 p.m. So it's been a long day. I am exhausted, if you can't tell. Again, the camera's on a bit of an angle. I'm perched on my laptop right now where I am editing, or exporting, I should say, tomorrow's video, which is exciting. But yeah, I wanted to pop on with a reading update and a what's been going on update. So like I said, long day today. Sorry if you can hear my fan in the background. It is warm and stuffy in this room, so fan on to kind of cool things down a little bit. But anyway, so I went to work this morning. I was still hooked up to my device thingy, and I left at 1 o'clock, and I drove to the hospital. I got there just after 2, and I wanted to give myself lots of time just in case. And then I got to pop off the device, which made me super happy, put it in the bag that they gave me, and I dropped it back off. And then I went and I had my ultrasound. So all that went well. Everything is good. You know, the results were already like there, you know. I mean, the doctor looks at everything before they let you go because they want to make sure they get all the right pictures and images and stuff like that. And everything is tickety-boo, so very happy about that. And yeah, so that's that. I did not get home, though, until after 6 because I had to drive back from the downtown. So yeah, I left home at about 6:30 this morning, and I didn't get home until just after 6. So it's been a 12-hour day, you guys. I'm tired, but I'm trying to keep myself up because I don't want to be going to bed at 8 o'clock at night. Okay, so when I talked to you guys yesterday, I had told you that I decided to not read The Girl You Left Behind by Jojo Moyes. And instead I was going to pick up Murder at the Beacon Bake Shop by Darcy Hannah. So I was looking on Audible last night, and I do have a membership. Like, I do have a subscription. I pay the $14.95 a month to Canadian Audible. So it is $14.95 Canadian. So I don't get hit with the not interest rates, but the, you know, currency exchange rates as they change day to day even. So, you know, I just pay for the Canadian one. But on the Plus catalog, they have a lot of those Audible originals, you know, the shorter, slightly shorter books, mysteries. They have lots of them for romance. And I read a few over the last few years, and one of them, or a couple of them, were by Cara Bastone, which I really enjoyed. And I went through and I was looking at the romance, and I sorted them by like new releases. And there was a newer one that came out by her a few months ago called Love at First Psyche. So this is an Audible original. It is not available at all as an ebook or a print book or anything like that. I really do like these because it's like a full cast. So it sounds like you're listening to an old school like radio recording, if you will. Like, you're getting all these different characters' voices. There's a ton of different voice actors who work on these. So the plot of this one, and I decided to listen to it. So it's just under 5 hours long. So at the 1.5 speed that I listened to it at, it was a little over 3 hours. And I have about an hour left on it because I listened to a good chunk of it today. Driving to work, then driving to the hospital, then driving home from the hospital. So, you know, I had a lot of car time today. So I probably could have finished it today, but I decided to actually go ahead and listen to a couple podcasts because I just needed a little bit of a break. But anyway, so from Cara Bastone, she did Call Me Maybe, which is the first in her Love Line series. And then I think Sweet Talk was the second book, and there is a third book that I haven't read yet. This is not part of that series, and this one I'm enjoying it, but I'm not loving it. So it's about our two main characters. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to get into what it's about. Essentially, it's about two characters who, I'll give you the very, very brief. Two characters who are in a psych class together, and they're stuck doing a project together about, does love at first sight actually exist? And of course, it's going to be their romance. So that's all I'm going to say. I will finish this one tomorrow on my way to work. I will give you guys a full review tomorrow after work. So yeah, so that's what I listened to today. And at the hospital, I got a couple of chapters read while I was sitting and waiting for my ultrasound. Her Amish Protectors by Janice K. Johnson, still working on this one, about a little over halfway through. And then when I got home, because I just wanted to relax, I had my dinner, and then I had a nice hot bubble bath, and it was delightful. So relaxing. I should have waited till a bit later and had it and then tried to go to bed because I would have fallen asleep immediately. But anyway, I did read another chapter of Diary of a War Bride by Laurie Robinson. The chapters on this one are quite long. So I'm only 3 chapters in, but I'm already about a quarter of the way through the book. So yeah, this is a reread for me. I am still enjoying it. So yeah, so that's my reading and my kind of life update for today. Presley is sitting here sleeping, so maybe I'll turn the camera around, and because you guys all love seeing the fur babies. And yeah, until my next one, till tomorrow. What am I doing? It's not the end of the video. Until tomorrow, my friends, I'll talk to you then. Bye, guys. Hi friends, happy Thursday. Today is the 20th of July, and it is Sarah's losing her voice time. It is 7 o'clock at night. I've been home for about an hour. I finished work at 7 today, and yay, tomorrow I get to work from home. My manager's actually starting vacation. Like, I think she gets on a plane in an hour or something like that, and then all my coworkers, like the ladies that I work with, one girl is off, and then the other 2 ladies are both working from home. So my manager's like, well, since everybody else is working from home, you might as well work from home too, which makes me happy. So I'm doing the 8 till 4 shift tomorrow. So when I finish work at 4 o'clock, I am done and I'm already at home, which is fantastic. The BookTube Besties Retreat starts tomorrow night at 8 p.m. and I cannot wait for that at all. It's going to be so much fun. So much fun. So I will be done working, plenty of time to relax, have some dinner, get some snacks, maybe go for a walk with my husband first. We shall see. So yeah, lots and lots of plans. It's a long weekend for me as well. I'm off on Monday for my wedding anniversary. Not like we're doing anything spectacular, but it's more just like, hey, I had a vacation day. Let's use it. And that was pretty much my thought process on that one. So here with a reading update. I did not bring the other 2 books in here, but I've been showing them to you guys like throughout the week, so it's fine. I finished today on audio, Love at First Psyche by Cara Bastone. And I gave this book 3.5 stars. So this is an Audible original. It is only available on Audible. There is a whole cast, like it's a full cast of narrators on this one. I almost say cast of characters. And essentially, you have your 2 main narrators. At the end of this video, when I do that little card of whatchamacallit, of like the book that I finished and the star rating, I will list the 2 main narrators, but definitely go check Audible if you want the list of everybody. So the plot of this story, it's about our main character named Marigold and Robbie. Those are our main characters, and they're in university, and they're older than most of their classmates. They're sophomores, but they're in their late 20s. They both kind of took some gap years, you know, before they came back to finish their degrees. And they've been paired together in this psych class to do this project. And the project is, is there such a thing as love at first sight? So they interview all these different couples. So throughout the audiobook, throughout the book, you're getting all these different couples, you know, telling their story. And then it's also Marigold and Robbie, kind of falling in love and finding their own relationship. It was cute, but I didn't love it. It was a 3.5 star for me. I actually found in places I was a little bit bored, to be completely honest. I really liked the stories that the other couples were sharing. I thought that was really, really cute and a really smart idea on behalf of the narrator, on behalf of the author. But yeah, okay, so Call Me Maybe by this author and Sweet Talk by this author, I loved. I think both those were 5-star books for me. This one just did not hold up to those ones. Do you know what I mean? But it was still a good read. Like, it wasn't a bad book. It just wasn't Call Me Maybe. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't her previous work for these Audible originals that she's done. And, you know, but it's like less than 5 hours long on audio. If you want something quick to listen to, and if you have an Audible subscription, you know, it's part of the Plus catalog. You can go ahead and just borrow it and read it and enjoy it. It is a sweet romance. There is no adult content in this at all. And I mean, it is a very slow burn because they don't even kiss until the last 2 minutes of the audiobook maybe. So yeah, a very, very sweet story. But again, Call Me Maybe just really was such a good book. But if, like, for this one, the great thing about it is that you're getting not only the full cast recording, because everyone that they're interviewing, you're getting different voices, but you're also getting background noise. You're getting the ding of a cell phone for a text message. You know, that really does bring something to the table. And originally this would have been like a 3-star. But for the whole atmosphere aspect of it, I definitely kicked it up to a 3.5 star. So tonight I'm going to do some more reading on her Amish Protectors by Janice K. Johnson, Diary of a War Bride by Lori K. Robinson, and I was going to start on my way home on audio, but I was in the mood just to listen to a couple podcasts, which is what I did. And I will be starting, though, Murder, oh my gosh, what's the book called now? Beacon Street Murder? No, that can't be right. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Okay, I can see the cover in my head. It's a cozy mystery. It looks absolutely adorably delightful. You guys are screaming it at me who know what book I'm talking about. It is, let me go back here. Oh gosh, I feel so silly now. I really do feel so silly. Oh, that's not helpful at all. Come on. There it is. So the book I'll be starting tonight, Murder at the Beacon Bake Shop by Darcy Hannah. This is the first book in the Beacon Bake Shop mystery series. It's a cozy mystery series. The 4th book comes out in September, and it's a Halloween book. So my goal is to finish, I'm thinking maybe one a month, so this is July. So if I do July, August, September, and then in October, I can read book number 4, which is the Halloween book. So very excited about that. Anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Again, why do I think I'm ending a video? Probably because I just filmed a video. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi, friends. It is Friday afternoon, and it is about 4:30. And I am done work for the day. And I am just popping on here for the final clip for this vlog. I filmed it on my lunch break a few hours ago about the fact that the vlog was going to end on Friday afternoon or on Friday, and then I'm going to start a new vlog actually later tonight. Sorry for the light coming in. Again, 4:30 in the afternoon. And anyway, yeah, so I'm coming to you with the final clip because I finished a book, so I want to share that with you. So I finished reading her Amish Protectors by Janice K. Johnson. This is the 2nd book in the Missouri Amish series, but I'm pretty sure they're just companion books. I think you meet the characters from the first book in this book, but it's 2 very brief meetings, and you wouldn't even know that they were from the first book. I wouldn't even know that this was part of a series unless I looked at that on Goodreads. So I gave this book 3.5 stars. I didn't love this. Now, I love Janice K. Johnson. She's a great, great author. There was a couple things in this. One, I felt like there was a lot going on. So, for one thing, the book opens up with this horrible domestic violence situation where our main character is shot. I don't want to give too much away. And then she ends up, because of the trauma and all those things, to a very small town in Missouri and opens up a quilt shop in this little Amish and English community. And they do a fundraiser for victims of a tornado. And all the money, the cash, is stolen, and the townspeople think that she did it. So the title, her Amish Protectors, the Amish are the ones who believe, no, she wouldn't do this, kind of an idea, right? So there's that happening. Then, of course, she's dealing with the fact of this domestic violence thing that happened to her, a number of years earlier. Then the local police officer, Ben, kind of is, of course, suspecting her because who else would steal this money? And she has a thing with the police. She's not really a fan of the police. She thought they could have done more during this standoff with this guy to save more lives. And, whatever. And then, I'm telling you, this is all in one book. And then she ends up getting shot. So, there was a lot going on. And I think the author could have, picked something and ran with it. I don't know. Okay, so the entire beginning part, the whole domestic violence thing, was kind of, you needed a reason for Nadia to be afraid of the police or to not trust the police. But I didn't feel like it had to be that. That felt really big to me. It could have been something else. It could have been a mugging. and maybe, you know, they didn't take her seriously, you know, or something like that. And, you know what I mean? And then for that reason, she distrusts the police. I just felt like it was something really big that really didn't pan out later, if that makes sense. And then the whole shooting thing was almost like added as an app, like essentially to drive the plot is what it felt like to me. So I don't want to give too much away. I didn't dislike the book. I kept reading it because I was interested to find out who stole the money and who shot at her. So, you know, now point number 2 on why I didn't love this book. This didn't feel like a romance to me at all. This felt like the story of Nadia having to deal with like all this stuff that's happening to her. Excuse me. It's been a long day and I've been on the phone all day. Like dealing with all this stuff that's happening to her. And, you know, yes, there's a relationship with Ben. I didn't think it was appropriate. Like, he kept saying, well, I don't consider you a suspect anymore, so we can, you know, have a relationship. I'm like, no, that's not how that works. She was a suspect. You searched her house and her premises and her car. And, you know, the townspeople still, like, the money hasn't been found. So in the eyes of the townspeople, maybe she's still, you know, it just felt inappropriate to me. Oh, yeah, and then there was this whole other thing with his sister who comes to town, and her and Nadia bond because the sister had been There's a lot of dark stuff in this book, guys, to be completely honest. I really liked the Amish characters. They were some of my favorites. They were super sweet, which is the Amish anyway. And I really, really enjoyed all the discussion of quilts and quilting in this. I kept stopping reading the book to Google search the names of some of these quilts, because I guess there's like patterns, like, you know, that are well-known patterns that you do, you know, for quilting. And my aunt's a quilter, and I just love the way that it looks. I wish I was that talented, but I'm not. So I really like that aspect of the book. I didn't dislike the book, but I didn't love it as much as I wanted to. I was really hoping for a lot coming into a Janice K. Johnson book, but unfortunately, not so much. So anyway, guys, I'm calling it for this vlog. I think I finished 4 books this week, which is pretty good. But I'm starting a new vlog in just a few hours when the, when the Dewey's 24-hour readathon and the BookTube Besties Retreat start. So I'm hoping to get a lot of good reading done over the next 24 hours. So stay tuned for that vlog on Sunday. And you can see how much I got read over the next 24 hours, which should be super exciting. I'm hoping to finish at least maybe 1 book. I'd really like to get Diary of a War Bride done, but we shall see. But anyway, guys, that is it. I'm not going to share with you what I'm currently reading. Stay tuned for tomorrow's or Sunday's vlog for that. And until my next video, everybody, take care and happy reading. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye, guys.